The baby monitor crackled at 3:47 a.m., yanking Nathan Callahan out of sleep. His eyes shot open. 23 years as an electrician taught him that static meant something was off. Emma's soft breathing came through like usual. But this time there was something else. Whispers. Voices. Words no one should be saying near his baby's crib in the middle of the night. Don't worry about it. He's completely out cold. Took 3 melatonin after that double shift. Put the ring in the diaper drawer, second level down. He never goes through her stuff anyway. The voice was Valerie's. His wife of 7 years, lying right beside him, must be sleeping beside him. He glanced at the other side of the bed. Valerie was gone. Nathan's heart pounded. Unless someone else was in his house. Nathan slipped out of bed without a sound. His feet hit the cool hardwood. Floors he'd laid himself 3 summers back to save 12 grand on labor. He crept down the hall, past Ivy's room. 16 dance trophies everywhere. College brochures fanned out like dreams on her desk. Then past Carter's door, covered in superhero stickers he'd helped line up by height and color, just the way his 8-year-old liked it. Emma's nursery door stood slightly ajar, exactly as they'd left it during her 10 p.m. feeding. But the room beyond lay empty. Nathan's chest pounded as he eased the door open wider. The crib sat untouched in the corner, sheets, perfectly tucked, her stuffed elephant staring ahead, the Star Mobile spinning soft shadows across the ceiling. But Emma was gone. Panic gripped his throat until he heard it, her soft babbling, faint, coming from deeper in the house. Relief hit, tangled with confusion. He dropped to his knees beside the crib. That's when he saw it, something metallic catching the moonlight beneath the frame he'd built with his own hands. A phone. Definitely not his. Definitely not Valerie's registered iPhone with its rose gold case and family photos. This device was black, anonymous, a burner phone like the ones they used in crime dramas. Nathan's electrician's fingers trembled as he pressed the power button. The screen illuminated 10 unread messages from a contact labeled simply, "Red Dress." Nathan's stomach clenched as he scrolled through the thread, each message a knife twist in his gut. Hotel Roosevelt booked for Thursday night. Presidential suite, room 247. He's pulling another double shift, won't be home until midnight. God, I can't stop thinking about this afternoon. The way you looked at me when you handed me Emma, I can't help myself. Wear the ring he gave you. The anniversary band. Nothing else. 2 years we've been playing house and he still has no idea. Sometimes I think you get off on the deception as much as I do. Can't wait to taste you again. The timestamp on the final message read 11:32 p.m., less than 4 hours ago. While Nathan had been dead asleep after pulling a 14-hour shift at the Morrison construction site, his body aching from running electrical through 3 floors of commercial space, a voicemail notification pulsed red. Nathan's thumb hovered over the play button, some primal instinct warning him that knowledge, once gained, could never be unknown. But the betrayal was already carved into his heart. He pressed play. Baby, I can't stop thinking about earlier today. The way you looked at me when you handed me Emma, like you were presenting me with a gift. Christ, this is so wrong, but it feels so right. Tomorrow night, room 247. I'll be there by 8 sharp. The voice hit Nathan like a sledgehammer to the solar plexus. Ryder Sloan, the security systems technician who'd installed their smart home setup 6 weeks ago. Married father of 2 young boys. The same man who'd shaken Nathan's hand at the completion of the installation and called him one lucky son of a witch, while his eyes devoured Valerie in her yoga pants. Nathan's breath grew ragged, shallow. His vision blurred as the memories crashed through him. He'd met Valerie when she was studying early childhood development, and he was grinding through night classes in electrical engineering. She already had 2 kids when they met. Ivy, 10, sharp and headstrong, and little Carter, barely 1, still finding his words. Nathan never blinked, never questioned it. From day one, he loved them like his own, like blood. The baby monitor crackled again, snapping Nathan out of his daze. He snatched the parent unit off the changing table and started scrolling through the saved footage from the past week. Most of it was normal. Emma sleeping, Valerie doing late-night feedings. But then he hit Thursday night, and what he saw made his blood run cold. 2:23 a.m., Valerie entering the nursery, but she wasn't alone. A male figure followed her inside, moving with the confident familiarity of someone who belonged. 2:24 a.m. The figure lifted Emma from her crib while Valerie retrieved something from the changing table drawer. A small jewelry box Nathan recognized as the one containing her wedding set. 2:26 a.m. Both figures leaving together, Valerie carrying the jewelry box, the man cradling Emma like she was his own daughter. Nathan rewound the footage and enhanced the audio. Valerie's laugh drifted through the speakers, crystal clear and utterly without remorse. He actually thinks Emma saved our marriage. That's what makes this whole thing so beautifully ironic. She did save something, just not what he imagines. The baby monitor receiver exploded against the nursery wall in a shower of plastic shards. I need to take some personal time, Nathan told his foreman the next morning, forcing his voice to maintain the steady, professional tone that had earned him respect in the construction industry. Family emergency. Could be a few days, maybe a week. Mike Rodriguez looked up from the blueprint spread across his makeshift desk. After 8 years and dozens of jobs together, they'd built the kind of trust that came from relying on each other in dangerous situations involving live electrical systems and heavy machinery. Everything okay at home? Personal stuff. I'll work it out. Whatever's going on, you got my support. But instead of going home to confront the wreckage of his marriage, Nathan drove to the Starbucks on 5th Street and dialed a number he'd memorized from Ryder's company paperwork. Sloan residence. Mrs. Sloan, this is Nathan Callahan. We need to talk. Silence stretched between them, long enough for Nathan to hear traffic passing on her end of the line, the distant sound of children playing. About what exactly? About your husband and my wife? Another pause, longer this time. When she spoke again, her voice carried the flat exhaustion of someone who'd been carrying a terrible secret like a stone in her chest. Meet me at Riverside Park in 1 hour. Come alone and bring whatever evidence you found. Deidre Sloan was already waiting when Nathan arrived, sitting on a bench overlooking the river. Dark circles shadowed her green eyes, and her left hand was bare where a wedding ring should have been. How long have you known? She asked without preamble. Found out last night. You? 3 weeks and 2 days. Her laugh held no humor. I told myself it was work. Hotel receipts in his jacket, business dinners, team meetings. I'm an accountant. I know how to make numbers lie when I need them to. She pulled out her phone and showed Nathan a series of text messages. The timestamps went back months, creating a timeline of deception that stretched far beyond what Nathan had imagined possible. But then I saw these. Hard to explain away, I want you so bad it'll make you forget your own name as a professional communication. Nathan studied the messages. When did it start? Best I can tell, the day he installed your security system. He came home that night different. Excited in a way I hadn't seen in years. Started working out again, buying new clothes, taking longer showers. She wiped her nose with a tissue. I thought he was having a midlife crisis. Bought him a motorcycle for his birthday, thinking it might help. Instead, he used it to visit my wife. Every Tuesday and Thursday, sometimes Saturday mornings when you took the kids to their activities. Deidre's voice grew harder. I started tracking his phone 3 weeks ago. Your house, always your house. Nathan pulled out his phone and showed her dash cam footage he'd pulled from city traffic cameras, a trick he'd picked up during his time with the municipal electrical department. Those same cameras had caught Ryder's work van parked in Nathan's driveway. Son of a witch, Deidre whispered, her composure finally cracking. That's my grandmother's necklace she's wearing in this shot. They're planning something bigger than just an affair, Nathan said, pulling up the photos he'd taken of documents in Valerie's purse. She's been meeting with Patricia Hendricks, the divorce attorney who specializes in high-asset cases. These are preliminary papers. Deidre went pale as she read the documents, proof of a carefully planned marital ambush. Ryder's been doing the same. Thinks I don't know, but I manage our money. He's hiding 200 grand in crypto, moving things around to fake being broke. Valerie forged my name on a second mortgage. Took out 80 grand against the house I built myself. They sat in silence, surrounded by the quiet chaos of a park full of people still believing in happily ever after. Kids on swings, couples holding hands, dogs chasing leaves. What do you want to do about it? Deidre asked finally. Nathan thought about Emma's laugh, about Ivy's college dreams, about Carter's breakthrough in speech therapy just last week, about the years he'd spent building something beautiful that was being torn down from the inside. I want to destroy them, he said quietly. Legally, financially, completely. I want them to understand what they've thrown away, and I want them to pay for it. Deidre's smile was sharp as a blade. I was hoping you'd say that. Over the next 2 weeks, Nathan transformed into someone he barely recognized. By day, he maintained the facade of normalcy, taking Carter to speech therapy, attending Ivy's dance recitals, sharing quiet moments with Emma during her bottle feedings. But by night, he became a methodical architect of justice. His basement workshop, once devoted to weekend furniture projects and hobby electronics, became a command center. Nathan set up a server farm to handle terabytes of surveillance footage, routing it through VPNs, skills he'd picked up in his community college cybersecurity classes. Every smart device in his house, thermostats, door locks, security cameras, baby monitors, even the smart refrigerator Valerie had insisted they needed, now fed data into his central surveillance system. He installed hidden cameras in air vents, behind picture frames, inside smoke detectors. Audio receivers the size of thumbtacks went into every room. The house became his fortress, his surveillance center, his weapon. Meanwhile, Deidre brought intel that made everything worse. Ryder wasn't just cheating, he was breaking laws. For months, he'd been copying client security footage, building a private stash of intimate moments from families who trusted him to keep them safe. I found bank statements going back 2 years, Deidre reported during one of their clandestine meetings at various coffee shops around the city. He's been blackmailing clients. The Hendersons, the Chens, the Robertsons, all of them made substantial donations to his offshore accounts after he installed their systems. Blackmail for what? Affairs, financial irregularities, anything he could use as leverage. Your wife isn't his first conquest. She's just the most useful. She gives him access to your construction contacts, your financial information, your entire life. Nathan's jaw clenched as the scope of the betrayal became clear. She's been feeding him information about our clients. Bank account numbers, social security digits, home security codes. He's been running identity theft schemes using information she gathered from your home office. The evidence mounted like a tide of destruction. Financial records, communication logs, video footage, audio recordings, all of it painting a picture of systematic betrayal that went far beyond a simple affair. This was organized crime. But the most damaging discovery came from Nathan's own surveillance system. Late one Thursday night, while he was working an emergency electrical repair at the hospital, his cameras captured Valerie and Ryder in Emma's nursery. What Nathan saw made his hands shake with barely controlled rage. Ryder was holding Emma, while Valerie searched through the baby's dresser, pulling out documents Nathan hadn't known existed. Custody evaluations, psychological assessments, forged medical records, claiming Nathan was emotionally unstable and potentially violent. "Once we file these papers, he's finished," Valerie said, bouncing Emma in her arms with the casual ease of someone who'd done this many times before. "Full custody, the house, his pension, everything. My lawyer says his depression history after his father died makes him unfit. What about the older kids? Ivy will choose me. I'm the one who paid for her dance classes, who helped with her college applications. Carter's too young to have a legal say, and honestly, his special needs make him expensive. Child support alone will set us up nicely." "You're sure he won't fight back?" Valerie's laugh was cruel. "Nathan, he's too much of a Boy Scout. He'll accept whatever the court decides because he thinks it's best for the children. He has no idea how to be ruthless." They moved to the living room, spreading forged documents across the coffee table. Valerie produced a bottle of wine, their wedding vintage, the 1947 Chateau d'Yquem they'd been saving for Emma's 18th birthday. "To new beginnings," Ryder toasted. Nathan saved every frame, every word, but more than that, he began to plan. "I got the Seattle job," Nathan said over dinner Friday night, watching Valerie closely as he dropped the lie he'd crafted just for this. 3-day electrical retrofit at the new Microsoft campus. Good money, but I'll be gone all weekend. Valerie's eyes lit up like Christmas morning, though she tried to mask her excitement with appropriate wifely concern. "Oh, that's wonderful, honey. Really great opportunity. When do you leave?" "Tomorrow morning, first flight out. Won't be back until Monday night, maybe Tuesday if they need overtime." "Well, don't work too hard. The kids and I will be fine here." Ivy looked up from her calculus homework. "Dad, you seem stressed lately. Is everything okay?" Nathan reached over and squeezed his stepdaughter's hand, his daughter, in every way that mattered. "Just work stuff, kiddo. Nothing for you to worry about." But Carter, 8 years old and blessed with the special perceptiveness that often accompanied his speech challenges, wasn't fooled. "Are you and Mom have problems? Why do you think that? You don't hug anymore." Valerie forced a laugh that sounded like breaking glass. "Adults go through phases, sweetheart. Everything's fine." Saturday morning, Nathan made a show of leaving for the airport, complete with suitcase and travel documents. But instead of heading to SeaTac, He drove to a storage unit rented under a fake name and settled in, surrounded by screens and gear that could have made NASA jealous, ready to watch every inch of his house. The waiting was agony. Every minute felt like an hour as Nathan watched his family go through their Saturday routines. Ivy leaving for dance practice, Carter playing video games, Emma napping in her bouncer. Normal life continuing while Nathan's world prepared to explode. 7:43 p.m. Valerie's Honda Accord pulled into the driveway, returning from what she'd told the kids was a girls' night out with college friends. 7:44 p.m. Ryder's van followed, parking boldly in Nathan's spot as if he belonged there. 7:52 p.m. Both figures entering through the front door that Nathan had painted last spring, carrying overnight bags like they were moving in permanently. Nathan's jaw clenched as they headed straight for the master bedroom, his bedroom, where he'd made love to Valerie just 5 nights ago. "Soon, he'll be completely destroyed," Valerie said, her voice carrying a venom Nathan had never heard before. "Full custody of all 3 kids, the house, his pension, everything." "What about his family? Won't they support him?" Ryder asked. "His parents are dead. He's got one sister in Oregon he talks to twice a year, and his few friends are all work buddies. He built his whole world around us. When we're gone, he'll have nothing." "You don't feel bad about it?" "I need more than someone who comes home covered in construction dust and falls asleep watching the History Channel. I need someone who excites me, who makes me feel alive." They moved to the living room, and Nathan watched in horror as they made themselves comfortable in his space, drinking his wine, celebrating the destruction of his life with the casual ease of people planning a vacation. 2:17 a.m. Motion sensors detected Nathan entering through the basement. He moved through his own house like a ghost, every floorboard and stair creak memorized from years of late-night maintenance and emergency baby feedings. The electrical panel waited in the basement corner, his kingdom of switches and breakers. Nathan killed the main power. Darkness swallowed the house like a living thing. Emergency lighting kicked in. Soft red glows from exit signs and smoke detectors. The battery-powered nightlights he'd installed for Carter's midnight bathroom trips. Upstairs, Valerie's voice cut through the silence with sharp panic. "What the heck? Must be a power surge or a blown transformer. I'll check the electrical panel." Footsteps on the stairs, heavy and confident. Ryder appeared in the basement doorway, flashlight in hand. He didn't see Nathan pressed against the support beam until it was far too late. The crowbar, 24 inches of forged steel that Nathan used for demolition work, caught Ryder across the ribs with a sound like a baseball bat hitting a watermelon. He folded like a house of cards, flashlight clattering across the concrete floor. "You think I wouldn't find out?" Nathan growled, dragging him to a support beam. Heavy-duty zip ties snapped tight around Ryder's wrists. "Nate, Jesus Christ, what are you doing?" Valerie stood at the top of the basement stairs, Emma crying in her arms, her face white with terror in the emergency lighting. "Put my daughter down," Nathan said, his voice carrying the flat calm. "You're having another episode. You need help." "Put her down." Something in Nathan's tone penetrated Valerie's panic. She placed Emma in her bouncy seat at the top of the stairs before descending slowly. In the red emergency lighting, her face looked like something from a horror movie. "How long?" Nathan asked. "How long what?" "Don't insult my intelligence, Valerie. I've got 47 hours of footage from the past 2 weeks alone. Him, planning to destroy everything I've built. So I'll ask one more time. How long has this been going on?" Her composure cracked like an eggshell. 3 months. "Liar!" Ryder groaned against the support beam, blood trickling from his mouth where he'd bitten his tongue during the fall. "Val, don't tell him about the—" "Shut up," she snapped with vicious intensity. "About what?" Nathan stepped closer, crowbar still in his hand, and Valerie instinctively backed toward the stairs. "About the identity theft, the blackmail schemes, the forged documents, or maybe about how you've been using our daughter as a prop in your sick games?" "It wasn't like that." Valerie's eyes darted between Nathan and the stairs, calculating her chances. Fight or flight? The eternal human choice, playing out in his basement at 2:30 in the morning. "You want the truth?" she said finally, her voice gaining strength from desperation. "Fine. You were never enough, Nathan. Good provider, sure. Decent stepfather to kids that aren't even your blood. But I needed more. I needed someone who wanted me as a woman, not just as a mother and housekeeper. I worshipped you. You worshipped your idea of me. The perfect wife, the perfect mother, the woman who'd be grateful for your middle-class dreams and suburban stability. Nathan felt something die inside his chest. Not love, which had been ended the moment he'd found the hidden phone, but hope. The hope that somewhere beneath the betrayal lived a woman who might regret her choices, who might fight for their family. The power flickered back on, fluorescent bulbs casting harsh shadows across the basement. Emma's cries grew louder from upstairs, and Nathan could hear Carter calling out, confused and frightened. "Go comfort your son," Nathan told Valerie. "Tell him everything's going to be okay. Because for him, for Ivy, for Emma, it will be, what about us? There is no us. There never really was there?" Monday, 9 a.m. sharp, Nathan walked into Chen and Associates with a banker's box and a fire in his chest. Patricia Chen, divorce shark in an Armani suit, looked up from her desk, sharp as ever. "Mr. Callahan, you said you had solid evidence?" He slid over an encrypted thumb drive. 47 hours of video. Adultery, fraud, child endangerment, Idaho theft, and a perjury conspiracy. Plus a statement from the other wife. She's filing charges too. Patricia plugged it in. Her legendary poker face wavered as the footage rolled. "This is extraordinarily comprehensive. When you called, I assumed we were dealing with a standard adultery case. This is organized crime using your marriage as cover. I want full custody of all 3 children," Nathan said, his voice carrying the steady determination of a man who'd spent 2 weeks planning for this moment. "I want the house, the assets, everything, and I want both of them destroyed legally. Criminal charges, civil suits, complete financial ruin. The evidence certainly supports that outcome. What's your timeline?" Nathan checked his watch. "Valerie's at the elementary school PTA meeting until 7 tonight. 30 concerned parents discussing the spring fundraiser. I want her served in front of all of them. Public humiliation rarely serves our clients' long-term interests. She planned to destroy my relationship with my children and leave me with nothing. This isn't about revenge, Miss Chen. This is about consequences." By 3 p.m., the paperwork was filed. By 6:30 p.m., a process server named Miguel Santos was walking into Jefferson Elementary's cafeteria, where 37 concerned parents were debating the merits of various fundraising strategies for the upcoming spring carnival. Valerie sat at the head table, her auburn hair perfectly styled, wearing the blue dress Nathan had bought her for their anniversary. She looked like the ideal suburban mother, the perfect mask for a perfect lie. "Valerie Callahan?" Miguel's voice cut through the discussion of raffle ticket sales and carnival game logistics. The cafeteria fell silent. 36 pairs of eyes turned toward Valerie as she looked up from her clipboard. "You've been served." The manila envelope might as well have been a live grenade. Miguel placed it beside Valerie's coffee cup and departed with professional efficiency. Whispers began immediately, the hungry murmur of suburban curiosity faced with authentic drama. Valerie's hands shook as she tore open the envelope, her face draining of color with each page she turned. She hastily grabbed her things and rushed home. But home wasn't safe anymore. When Valerie tried her key in the front door lock, nothing happened. The security codes had been changed. The smart home system she'd helped betray now locked her out like an unwanted stranger. A sheriff's deputy approached from behind. "Ma'am, I'm Deputy Martinez. I need you to collect only personal items and clothing. You have 90 minutes of supervised access to gather necessities. This is my house, I live here. Not according to the restraining order issued this afternoon. And the deed review shows the property belongs to the Callahan Family Trust." Inside, Nathan sat in his leather recliner with Emma on his lap. His daughter babbled happily, reaching for the remote control while cartoons played on the television. The picture of paternal normalcy in the center of a domestic hurricane. Nathan let Valerie go without a word. Under Deputy Martinez's watch, she silently went upstairs to gather her things. Ivy and Carter stood in the doorway, both children sensing the gravity of a situation they couldn't fully comprehend. "Dad, what's happening?" Carter asked. "Why is Mom crying?" "Your mother made some choices that hurt our family, buddy, but you're safe here." 3 months later, Nathan sat in courtroom 7 of the King County Family Court building, watching Valerie's attorney make his opening statement to Judge Rebecca Harrison. "Your Honor," said James Mitchell, "my client admits she made mistakes during a difficult period in her marriage, but she's seeking a fresh start and the opportunity to rebuild her relationship with her children. Furthermore, Your Honor, my client is pregnant with Mr. Callahan's child, which demonstrates their ongoing intimate relationship despite these proceedings." Nathan's attorney, Patricia Chen, leaned over and whispered, "Are you ready for this?" Nathan nodded, patting the manila folder that contained the final piece of evidence. When Patricia's turn came, She stood with surgical precision. Your Honor, my client would like to address the pregnancy claim directly. She handed a document to the bailiff. This is a notarized medical record showing that Nathan Callahan underwent a vasectomy procedure 9 months ago, with subsequent semen analyses confirming complete sterility. He cannot be the biological father of Mrs. Callahan's unborn child. The courtroom erupted. Valerie's face went white as fresh snow. Your Honor, Patricia continued, I'd also like to call Deidre Sloan to the witness stand. Deidre walked to the witness box with steady composure. After being sworn in, she looked directly at Valerie with unflinching resolve. Mrs. Sloan, can you identify the biological father of Mrs. Callahan's unborn child? My soon-to-be ex-husband, Ryder Sloan. And how do you know this? Because he confessed it to me as part of a plea agreement to avoid federal charges for identity theft, fraud, and illegal surveillance. The affair began the day he installed the Callahan family security system. Deidre's testimony painted systematic fraud beyond simple adultery. She produced a recording device. I'd like to play a conversation my husband recorded 6 weeks ago. Ryder's voice filled the courtroom. This is insane, Val. Callahan's going to figure everything out, and when he does, we're both destroyed. No, he won't, came Valerie's reply. I've got him convinced he's losing his mind. We take the kids, the house, his pension, everything. You'll be free of Deidre, I'll be free of him, and we'll have enough money to disappear. What about Emma? She's leverage. Nathan will do anything for his precious baby girl. We can string him along for years. And if he fights back? Fight back? This is Nathan. He has no idea how to be ruthless. Judge Harrison removed her glasses and rubbed her temples. I've heard enough. Mrs. Callahan, you are hereby found in contempt of court for perjury. Full physical and legal custody of all 3 minor children is awarded to Mr. Callahan, with supervised visitation only after completion of court-ordered psychological evaluation. Court is adjourned. Ryder took the deal. 3 years in federal prison, loss of his license, and a permanent restraining order from Nathan's family. His name became poison in the home security world. His business dissolved within weeks. Deidre took full custody of their boys. He was just another inmate now, stripped of the illusion of control. 6 months later, Nathan stood in his kitchen making Saturday morning pancakes while Emma babbled from her high chair. The routine had become sacred, weekends devoted entirely to his children, creating new memories to replace the ones tainted by betrayal. Ivy sat at the breakfast bar reviewing college acceptance letters. Stanford's offering a partial scholarship for dance, full ride to University of Washington, but Stanford's the better program. We'll make Stanford work, Nathan assured her. Your dreams don't have a price tag. Carter emerged from the living room, speech therapy exercises complete. Dad, there's someone at the door. Through the front window, Nathan could see Valerie, 7 months pregnant and looking like a shadow of the woman who'd once commanded his complete devotion. Nathan opened the door, but didn't step aside. The baby's due in 6 weeks, she said without preamble. Congratulations. Ryder won't return my calls. His lawyer says he's not acknowledging paternity or accepting any financial responsibility. That's between you and him. I'm living in a studio apartment on the east side. Lost my job when the criminal charges became public. Can't get references, and the legal fees wiped out everything I had saved. You made your choices, Valerie. I know. Her voice cracked with what sounded like genuine remorse. But I'm asking for help, not for me, for the baby. Nathan studied his ex-wife's face, searching for signs of manipulation. Instead, he saw exhaustion, regret, and something that might have been authentic humility. The court awarded you supervised visitation. You've missed the last 8 appointments. I was working 3 jobs, trying to save enough for first month's rent somewhere decent. Gas station overnight shifts, diner lunch rush, cleaning offices from midnight to 6 a.m. Emma's laughter drifted from the kitchen, and Valerie's composure crumbled at the sound. She doesn't even know me anymore. Whose fault is that? Mine. All of it's mine. I threw away the best thing in my life. Rain began to fall. Valerie pulled her secondhand coat tighter. I didn't just cheat on you, Nathan. I was lost. I wanted something that felt dangerous and new. I convinced myself that you didn't appreciate me. She gestured at the house they'd planned together, the warmth spilling from windows that glowed with domestic contentment. What do you want from me, Valerie? I just wanted you to know that I understand what I lost. And I wanted to say I'm sorry. Really, truly, completely sorry. The kids ask about you sometimes. Hope flickered in her eyes like a candle flame in wind. What do you tell them? The truth. That you made mistakes that hurt people, but that doesn't mean you stop being their mother. Will you tell them I love them? You can tell them yourself. Next supervised visit is this Saturday at 2. I can't afford the supervisor fees anymore. They're paid for. Have been for 4 months, waiting for you to show up. Valerie stared at him with confusion and disbelief. Why? Because those kids deserve a mother. Maybe not the mother they had, but the mother you might become if you do the work to earn it. I don't deserve your kindness. No, you don't. But Emma deserves to know her mother. Ivy deserves the chance to work through her anger. Carter deserves to understand that love doesn't depend on perfection. Valerie broke down completely. Thank you. Nathan stepped back and slowly closed the door. Forgiveness had boundaries. Dad? Ivy appeared beside him. Was that really Mom? Yeah, people change. Sometimes for better, sometimes for worse. Sometimes they find their way back to who they were supposed to be. Are you okay? Nathan looked around his home, his fortress, his sanctuary, the place where 3 children were growing into the people they were meant to become despite the chaos that had threatened to destroy everything. Yeah, kiddo, we're all going to be okay. And for the first time since finding that hidden phone in Emma's nursery, Nathan Callahan meant it completely.